Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Every game is a cup final. I know I'm repeating myself for the last 1 month or so, one and a half month that every game is a cup final, and that's how it is. And a lot of people on the outside, rival fans and everyone think that being a City fan is easy. They just go on and win. No, the pressure you face on every match. It's just. I know as a fan you want to be in those moments, but every season the pressure you face, it's just so exciting as well. You have that little bit of a tense feeling as well. But you might very well face these kind of pressures every season than lingering at the mid table or something like that. But it's going to be an important match. I mean, every match, like I said, is an important match. But Leeds United have got Sam Allardyce, and Sam Allardyce is told that he could be the Pep. He could be as good as the Pep, as good as the Klopp, as good as Mikel Arteta. I think people are just, for the clicks, media, for the clickbait, everything, people are just, over thinking about all of those comments. The reason he has made that is understandable. He just wants to take the pressure of the league's players. He just wants the entire thing to be about him going into this match, not about how Leeds will tackle Haaland, tackle De Bruyne, how Leeds will fare at the Etihad. Instead of all of that, he wants the media to be talking about him, which means it will take the pressure off the Leeds players. Not just for this match, it could take the pressure off for the last all of the remaining Leeds matches. So that's an interesting thing. But Sam Allardyce is actually known to be very good with relegation teams, with saving teams from relegation. But 4 games to go, he has been bought in. So I don't know how that will pan out, but they're just showing Pep is talking, and they're just showing the City's next few fixtures. Leeds now in a few minutes, then Real Madrid midweek at the Bernabeu, then Everton at Goodison Park. Two tough away grounds to go, and then we have Madrid at home, and then Chelsea at home, and then after that it's again a barrage of tough fixtures to finish off the season with Brighton away, Brentford away potentially. So the season's not over yet. The season's not, nothing's been decided yet. Every fixture is a must win right now. Every fixture is a tricky fixture. So it will be interesting how we deal with it. I mean, you could always lean back on the old adage that City have done it in the past. So, but every season is different, right? Every experience is different every season. The kind of situations you go through, chasing that Liverpool team down was not the same as chasing this Arsenal team down. So there are different points. For example, last season we were almost without our defense line. Ake was injured. I think Kyle Walker was injured. Diaz was injured. Chris Fernandez, Laporte was injured. He was playing with injury. So literally the entire backline wiped out last season, and still you had 3, 4, 5 games to go and win. It was neck to neck with Liverpool. We didn't have any question, and so that situation is not similar to what we are facing now. So every season's different. That's what makes football in the Premier League so good. So well, Big Sam is there on the scene. He's speaking. They're showing Leeds next 4 fixtures. That's all they have till the end of the season. It's City, Newcastle, West Ham, and Tottenham. And I think the West Ham game will be a 6 pointer. Big Sam knows that. I think potentially you could be fighting West. I don't think West Ham will go down. I do not want West Ham to go down because A, they have done a favour to us against Arsenal, and B, when all the Premier League clubs, all of those charges and everything, they supported all the charges. West Ham was one of the clubs that stood by City's side, so I don't want the Hammers to go down. No, there's 15 more minutes to go, but what do you guys think about the lineup actually? Because the lineup here is Pretty interesting for me. Tim Sherwood is in the studio today. He's a big Pep fan. They're actually filling up the fan list with City admirers. Shaky Wen played for City. Tim Sherwood is a big admirer of Pep and also City. So it's interesting. The representation of City in the media is also increasing. But anyways, if you look at the lineup today the lineup is interesting. I, I mean, he had to make changes. I thought he'll definitely not bench, rest Grealish and play Foden. He'll do that, I was sure, but I'm a bit surprised by Pep resting Rodri. I mean, everyone, we all wanted Rodri to get rest, but again, the question was who who will play in place of Rodri. It had to be either Calvin Phillips or Gundogan, and there's an interesting interview that has come out regarding Calvin Phillips, which Pep has spoken about. We'll get back to that interview in a minute, but Gundogan, De Bruyne, Alvarez, I do not know what to say about that midfield. That is probably the most attacking midfield three in the entire Premier League right now. You could say, look at all three of them: De Bruyne, Gundogan, Alvarez. All three are. Just look at the attack of City today. The front six. It almost seems like Pep Guardiola is not holding anything back. You see De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Alvarez, and then you see the front three: Foden, Haaland, and Mahrez. When was the last time you saw that kind of an attacking front three? Because you always have had someone like a Rodri in that pivot role, and you always played Grealish, for example, who could slow down the play a bit. I mean, Mahrez has a point to prove as well, especially after that FA Cup game, the last 2 3 games. So they're showing Haaland's first goal, the run, the finish. That's so interesting, and the exciting thing about that was, it's a similar way that he scored his record-breaking goal against West Ham. The same way he scored his first goal against West Ham at the start of the season. Run and finish, and here it was Grealish with the through ball run and finish over the keeper. And it was actually interesting from Haaland when Haaland spoke about what went through his mind when he was running onto that ball against West Ham. He told that yes, he saw the keeper come out, but he told that the ball just it just lifted up a bit in front of him, and it was at that moment he decided he would just chip it over the keeper because there were options for Haaland. He could take it around the keeper. The keeper was uh, high up, his come out of his line. He could take it around the keeper. He could use his left foot to curl it around the keeper. He or else he could chip the keeper. He had three options and he took the chip. And what stands out to me there is the tactical insight into uh, how Haaland decides what to do in which situation, and it's almost like solving a mathematical equation, I would say. But the only thing is also in nanoseconds that decision making. It's one of the most difficult things in football, finishing, because that split second decision making, that's the only time you have. And Haaland, he always chooses the right decisions. I think in a way you could also say that's probably the difference between Raheem Sterling, for example, and an Erling Haaland, because I think Sterling, his movement, his positioning, everything is good, but I think he somehow fails to take that decision, solve that equation in that nanoseconds of the time. Probably that's what differentiates the best finishers from the rest. I mean, again, when we're talking about the lineup, Diaz. For me again, Diaz and Stones, he's the rest at both the centre backs. This is again interesting because whenever Pep presses the centre back, he is almost like he he rests one of them and then the others playing. It's either Diaz taking a rest or Stones taking a rest. Here it's almost like Pep has rested his entire back line, if you see, because Nathan Ake is already well rested. He's just come off from minor injury. He hasn't played in the last. He's played in the last game, but apart from that, he's had rest. Hasn't played Arsenal game. Hasn't played the Fulham game. So Ake has had his rest. Diaz is rested now. Stones is rested now. Walker is rested now. So in a way, I think you could say that Pep has his entire back line rested for this game. Pep is at least resting. Pep has rested Ederson last game. Pep is giving rest to Grealish this game. De Bruyne is well rested. Pep is resting Rodri this game. I mean, he's resting Bernardo this game. So, in a way, if you see like this is almost the second team Pep has put out. He's ensured that he has rested each one of them. Very interesting for that Real Madrid game. Bayaji says Meslier benched and new goalie has played only one match this season. That too in Premier League too. Big Sam Bayaji, Big Sam. And and I actually think when a team is going through a relegation period and they're fighting for their lives, they're shipping goals. I think you need to bring freshness, and also I think there's another factor. I think Meslier was handpicked by Marcelo Bielsa because of his ability with feet. I think what Big Sam wants is his playing style is not ability with feet. His playing style is good shot stopping. Playing style is kick the ball long. I think it's probably what not what Meslier can probably do to him. So I think that's why he's dropped Meslier. It's interesting. The playing style of Leeds will be interesting because when Pep Guardiola said that we do not know how the opponent will play this match because Big Sam new setup has just got 4 games to go. In those 4 games, 4 are tough games. City, Newcastle, West Ham will be potentially a 6 pointer. That will be an interesting game. And finish up with Tottenham. So I don't know how this match will go in terms of Leeds playing style, but the lineup is very interesting. It's literally thrown Rico Lewis in there. So, but in an attacking sense, I actually think in an attacking sense this is interesting. It gives you an indication that Pep wants to go for it. It almost tells you that Pep really wants to send a message that we can outscore you. Probably it's not been that way against Fulham, for example, where Pep wanted to. That was a very tense match, but entire second half, Pep wanted City to play out 45 minutes against West Ham, probably. I know we got 2 and 3 goals, but you almost had a sense that after the first goal, we kind of wanted to manage the match and play with Haaland on the counter. So Pep was so in the last couple of matches, Pep is trying to manage the minutes in the legs. Pep is trying to ensure that we don't get overstrained. Pep is trying to ensure that we can see out those 1 goal leads, 2 goal leads. So interesting tactics from Pep. Very impressed with him for the last 1 week or so, especially in how he has managed the games after that Arsenal game. Vaya, this is if Arsenal match happened before ours, Pep would have more freedom to pick the lineup accordingly. That is true, Bayaji, that is true. But what would you have liked? What would you have liked? Would you have liked Arsenal to have played before us or after us? Because I know I can get where you're coming from, but if you just look at it in an opposite sense, I probably think if we can do our job today, then we can actually apply that extra pressure on Arsenal. Then that Newcastle match for Arsenal would become a do or die match. St James's Park, Newcastle, they're playing very well. It's a different scenario. So this match is very important in more ways, I would say, than one, because our fixture list is not easy after this. Real Madrid and then Everton at Goodison Park. They're fighting for their lives. Sean dies. Goodison Park is not an easy game to go, easy place to go to. And then you have Chelsea at home, obviously after Madrid second leg. And then you have Brighton away, Brentford away. Brighton away is not easy again. Brentford away last day. You never know. Ivan Tony, Mbumo. So I just think that The fixture list is not easy at all. The fixture list is not easy, especially at home. We really need to do our job today because we need that cushion if it is needed. We need that cushion if it is needed for later on. We might probably need that cushion Everton away. Who knows? But the Newcastle result will be very interesting because if even if Arsenal get a draw, I think we get an. If Arsenal get a draw, then probably you would not mind drawing at Goodison Park and resting players drawing at Goodison Park, then going to Real Madrid because your question has just been extended with Arsenal dropping points. That match will be very interesting. Arsenal Newcastle. If Arsenal lose, I think I think Pep will field a second or even Pep can even field EDS if Arsenal lose in that game against Everton. So tomorrow's match will be interesting, but it will be interesting. The Arsenal match will be interesting, but we need to do our job today. Otherwise, that Everton game could be filled with pressure, and the last thing you'd want is face a pressure-filled weekend game before welcoming Real Madrid at home. The last thing you want to do is train players before welcoming Real Madrid at home. There was that danger with Bayern Munich actually. We won 3-0, but what if it was just a 1-0 win against Bayern Munich or an even score line against Bayern Munich and then you go to Leicester at the weekend and then you had to play Bayern Munich. That would have been tough and tricky for Pep. So Pep has taken gambles, is taken, calculated gambles, I would say, in this Premier League title race, like against Leicester half-time, removing Rodri, De Bruyne, Haaland, bringing Calvin Phillips on, and Leicester could have scored 3 there. Against Fulham, for example, settling for a settling for a 2-1 win. We did not have any endeavour to attack. We just managed in the game. That could have gone anyway. Walker penalty or that game. Ederson could have easily given away penalty. Pep took the gamble there. Got away with that. West Ham game, for example, little bit of a gamble. So interesting. All of the gambles from Pep have paid off till now. Vinay says we must finish our job today first and then think about Arsenal. That is true, Vinay. That is true. Sorry that I got carried away a bit thinking about that, but we must do our job. That is true, Vinay. Exactly true. We must do our job because we must not rely on Arsenal or anything. We must do our job. Vinay says, thou believe my team, but Real Madrid has all that luck, ref, VAR, mentality. Not be surprised if we miss out UCL. We have the lethal finisher. We have the lethal finisher, Vinay Erling Haaland, who is licking his lips. I won't be surprised if the game against Real Madrid will be an end-to-end game because that's how they like to play, right? They like to play on the counter and they like to push up the centre backs a bit and all. I think the Bayern game was a more tricky one for me because the Bayern like to press, Bayern like to keep it compact. Bayern, they conceded one goal in the entire UCL before they played us. The Bayern game was more tricky. The Bayern game was much more closer than people think. If I show someone 4-1 scoreline, they would think you would have just beaten Bayern uh, upside down, but that was not the case with Bayern. The game was very close with Bayern. So the Bayern was tricky. They pressed us high, the midfield, but the real game will be a very different game, I think. Very different game. Bayaji says draw away and win big home is a pattern for CL this season. The second leg is at home, Bayaji. That is something which is I think is good for us. I would say the home leg atmosphere and stuff. Because last time I think if the second leg was at home, I don't think Madrid would have made a comeback. So I think that pays into our hands. But then we earned our luck. We played the second leg away at Allianz Arena in the last round in the quarterfinals. So which could have potentially been a tough place to go to if the first leg score line was close. So we earned our luck. That's what I would say. Vinay says last season Madrid had no worries of title and this time CL spot is confirmed. Both times we are in title race. That's one of the things when I not just Madrid, you and see Bayern Munich generally, not this time, but generally when these teams, Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona, traditional teams, when Juventus, when they were, in 2 3 years back, 4 years back, when Juventus were making semi-finals, it was like that these teams don't have any of the title race these things. It's all City who have the title race things. Vinay says, I would say get goal difference of two tries and 10 of tries unacceptable, Vinay. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. But look at Leeds. Already shades of Big Sam showing in how Leeds play. Long balls up top. That's another thing why I'm surprised. I know he had to rest Rodri, but without Rodri, those long balls, how do you win those second balls in the midfield? That's a question mark for me. I just do not know. Without Rodri, what do you do? Those second balls. And Akanji is really not good. Rico Lewis is really not good. Suddenly, against a team playing long balls, I don't know. Phil Foden with the ball. Foden playing in his preferred left hand side spot after a long time. So that is something interesting to me. The entire height from the team has been totally removed. So how do you deal with the long balls? De Bruyne, I think, trying a shot from, I think it's Haaland who had tried a wayward shot and it's just gone out. Vinicius can't press for even a single minute versus Real Madrid. That's the concern. That's true, This title race is just, unforgiving, and then you have those, even the Champions League, that's why I'm proud of what we did against Arsenal, because Arsenal were happily having a week's rest. It was as if they were just enjoying everything, and we played two training legs against Bayern Munich and then an FA Cup semi-final, and then we were just under constant tension and pressure, and then we went good. We beat Arsenal in that manner. That's I think one of the most beautiful performances, I would say, from City. Not just the way we beat them, but the situation, the circumstances, no rest for our players, draining an emotional effect of what the other matches had on us. Phil Foden. Vinay says 10 nil, 10-0-0, only bangers, deflection, shoot on sideworms. That is true. Big Sam has already come to town. 10-0-0. That's true. That's what it seems. 10-0-0. Though we must be careful of them on the counter attack. Nyoto. I'm just a bit worried on. I at least wanted Kyle Walker to play. I know he's rested him for Vinicius, but Kevin De Bruyne. That's gone out for a throw in. We need. That's a good ball from Kevin De Bruyne to Phil Foden. I think it will be very difficult to win anything aerially in this match because they just seem to be so tall. And just look at the bloody timing as well. It's just that when we play them, every team has enjoyed scoring loads of goals against Leeds. And it's just that when we play them, they have to make the managerial change. Ah, there's just nothing. There's just nothing on offer there. All of the Leeds players are back. Mahrez with a misplaced pass. And then the ball comes back again. This is Big Sam football at its absolute best. Good ball in for to Brian. I didn't just curl enough, I think. Interesting point, like Bayaji said that Leeds United goalkeeper is playing for the first time and is just had only one game in PL2, so that's another interesting thing. Nathan, just move the ball fast. Nathan, move the ball fast. Good thing is that people are saying Edison's back. He'll help us in the build up. Who needs a build up when the opposition is not pressing you? But good thing is De Bruyne is back. I just wish that Gundo played bit in that midfield role because the runs he makes. I thought against West Ham as well. The runs which we missed the runs which Gundo makes actually in the first half against West Ham. So Manuel Akanji, we are just passing around the back. Rico Lewis, some space to run into, and City get the ball back again. Manuel Akanji, Rico Lewis, and it's gone out for a City corner. Vinicius Gundo in 600 rated. I think Gundo in his best years at Dortmund, when Dortmund reached that semi-final under Klopp in 11-12, I think Gundo played in that sixth role. He's just the late runs he makes. Gundo is just so superb. I think when Gundo eventually leaves, we're gonna miss that. It was a header and needed a better effort from Akanji. Almost a free header. Manuel, you need to keep those down. Free header for Akanji over there. That's a free header. There's no one applying pressure on him. But I think Gundo can play pretty much any role in that center of the park. I think he can play as a DM, he can play as a box to box, he can play in an attacking midfield role. He can, if you remember, I think in that COVID hit season, I think where Gundo was a top scorer and he played exceedingly well in that false nine role. So Gundo can play in any role. I think that's the beauty of most of the players in the City squad. Really, is Gundo, Ford, and Bernardo, and De Bruyne to an extent. They can play in multiple roles. Kanji does extremely well over there. Otherwise, Leeds were for a counter attack. Edison kicks it out. It's becoming nigh on impossible. Rico Lewis with a mistake. Rico Lewis with a mistake. Edison gets there, but it's becoming nigh on impossible to win those second balls. It's just becoming impossible to win those second balls because of the height of Leeds and all. It's a throw into Leeds. I don't know what to say about Pep's lineup first of all because he had to take that gamble, but again, you know that this Leeds at home is something which you are expected to get over the line. There are much more tougher tests in coming through in days ahead. So McKennie, if it throw Bamford, Newton, and McKennie are Leeds front three. He's playing a diamond front three, so that's interesting. It's 10-0-0. There's no point in me telling it's a diamond front three, but my God, that was such a big throw in. I mean, such a long throw in. Goal kick for City. Almost 10 minutes gone, 9.5 minutes, and Leeds have defended well and they've also attacked well. So I think City need to keep the ball better, need to be more composed. Rico Lewis with the ball. He's done well to find Riyad Mahrez. Rico Lewis again. Ah, it was just so close to Phil Foden. City are trying to make runs behind the back. He's offside probably. Foden's just a bit offside. Just think De Bruyne needs to bring out his vintage crosses and stuff. Again, second balls are just gonna be so important. That's very well played out. That's excellent play out by Rico Lewis and Nathan Ake is on the ball. Phil Foden. Ah, Nathan Ake retrieves the ball and that's a City throw. Nathan, just get along with the game fast. Manuel Akanji, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, out wide to Riyad Mahrez, blocked. And Akanji gets in on the ball. Back to Ikai Gundogan. There's no space at all in the box. There's nothing at all in the box, and Bamford gets this. And it's a City throw. Leeds are actually parking the bus exceptionally well, very well. Rico Lewis, Kevin De Bruyne. Overhead pass by Kevin. But the run made by Rico Lewis in the channel was extremely good. Yeah, that's what Pep Guardiola is also pointing. Make that run in the channel. I know it's just 13 minutes gone, but then you can feel the butterflies in your stomach. Just want City to get back into get off to a good start. Patrick Bamford wants a foul, but he's never gonna get it. Nathan Ake on the ball. Rico Lewis does extremely well on the ball. He's so composed. Rico Lewis. So it's Ilkay Gundogan actually. Lewis is making those runs in the channels. He's trying the role of Gundogan. That ball to Foden is just so predictable. They're just defending it. What is it? Is it a goal kick? Yes, it's a goal kick. Was Haaland offside? He was. Foden's the one who was not offside, and just think Haaland should have left it to Foden. They're just kicking the ball long. I know that's their strategy. Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne in that. Ah! What a chance! What a chance, Julian! Julian Alvarez! You need to hit the target there, Julian. At least make the keeper work. What a chance, Julian! What a chance that was in space as well, Julian Alvarez. Much easier chance than the one he scored against Fulham. He should be burying that, Julian Alvarez. He should be absolutely burying that. Ah, that was a chance. That was the chance. Julian Alvarez. Julian knows that. If that was Erling Haaland, should have been a goal for sure. Manuel, just give it back to Edison. We are inching towards 20 minutes. It's 15, 16 minutes gone and need to find the breakthrough. Nathan Ake, Rico Lewis. Ah! Another chance for Haaland there. Another chance. Was it Haaland? You betcha it's Haaland. That was another chance for Haaland over there. Ah, two chances in the space of a minute. Should have scored both. Should have scored both. And Mahrez cannot get to the ball. Erling Haaland generally finishes this. There's no excuse. He should have gone for far post. Actually, there's no excuse at all. He should have just pumped it into the top corner, probably. Oh no, that's not the finish Haaland does. I know, but Nathan Ake. Manuel Akanji gives it to Riyad Mahrez. Ha! Again, it was a close chance for Haaland there. Against this part the best teams, you need to take your chances. It's a free kick to City. That was a handball from Patrick Bamford, I think. How many chances in the last 2 minutes? That header chance was almost a chance for Erling Haaland. Riyad Mahrez there with the ball. It's a goal! It's a goal! It's a goal! Ilkay Gundogan! Gundogan scores! Ilkay! Wow! Welcome back to the team after a game's rest, Ilkay! What a shot! Gundo! Exactly, Vinay. What a shot from Gundo! And by the way, this was the toughest of the chance which we had. This is the toughest of those chances that we had, right, Vinay? Who Alvarez chance was it was an easy chance for Alvarez. Haaland's chance was easier. It was a tight angle, but when you're Haaland, you are expected to score those. And then there was a ball over the top which Erling Haaland put into the box, and I mean De Bruyne put into the box, and Haaland just missed it. Vinicius Alvarez had time to take touch and shoot. Exactly, I think the more than the Haaland chance, the Alvarez chance was easier, I think. And especially when you compare it to the way he shot against Fulham, right? Especially the goal against Fulham. Compare that. This was nothing. This was just a cakewalk. But I think Alvarez just hurried a bit. He just couldn't. How to watch live, bro? How to watch live? Just go to Hotstar app. Can't go to Hotstar app and you can watch it live. I mean, in India you can watch it on Hotstar, and Europe. If you're in Europe, you can watch it on. Uh, I think Sky Sports or BT, and in the US you can watch it on NBC, CSN, Peacock streaming service. Ah, JSK says yalla shoot. It's free. Okay. Rico Lewis. I mean the channels and the space which Rico Lewis is finding is very interesting for me. Rico Lewis is playing so well. Ah, I don't know why they tried to find Erling Haaland over there. Riyad Mahrez, Aymeric Laporte, Laporte again. Laporte along with Ake are the only two people who are good in the air defensively. I mean, there's Haaland, but defensively they're the only two people. JSK says, and we can't afford to miss all those chances against Madrid. That is true, JSK. That is true. That is true. And I don't think we need to be told because what has happened last time? Last time we should have been 5-0 up easily. Should have scored 5-6 goals easily against Madrid. Just can't miss those chances. And I think we took the most difficult one here because that Gundo goal was almost perfect, right? It was almost like how KDB scored against Arsenal. The ball curled, and I think the KDB's one was more difficult because Ramsdale was sort of covering that near post thing. But this was a perfect shoot from Gundogan there. Ah, Mahrez, Riyad, you had to make that pass. What a waste of a simple pass from Riyad Mahrez over there. De Bruyne was free. He was so free there. He was so free there that you don't get so many free offers on Geo as well. He was so free there. De Bruyne and Mahrez just didn't make that pass. It's we are creating chances, but we need to take them to take those chances. Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, Manuel Akanji, Riyad Mahrez, Manuel Akanji, Aymeric Laporte. Passing of Laporte is so good. Is so good on the ball. Riyad Mahrez, go on the outside, Riyad. All of the spaces there on the outside. I don't know why is no one making that outside run. Nathan Ake, Phil Foden. There's no space at all. They're just covered up Phil Foden. And the result of that is, of course, there is space on our right hand side to Riyad Mahrez. I don't know why no one's making those runs on the right hand side. Ah! Oh! Did you see how that shot missed? Erling Haaland! That should have been two! Ooh! How did that miss? And that was flashback to what De Bruyne and Haaland did against Arsenal, right? How did he miss there? The net would have come off. The net would have come off if Haaland would have put that in the net. How did he miss that? Ah, ball just curled away. What do you guys think that chance? Ooh, he had to score. He had to score. Haaland had to score that. That's a free kick to City. Ah, how many chances? We should have been 3-4 nil up in the first 24 minutes, right? At least 3 nil up. Ah, De Bruyne has gone down, catching his knee. I just hope it's not serious. He's getting up, but that combination play from De Bruyne and Haaland was just fantastic. How did he miss? Guys, tell me, how did Haaland not score there against Kevin De Bruyne? I'm sorry, from that Kevin De Bruyne pass, I just don't know. JSK says Timo Haaland. It's a good one, JSK. But Timo Werner misses open goals. At least this is not an open goal. But you know that the power on that finish was just scary. I thought even Haaland just needed to have that on target. Even if the goalkeeper was in the way, when the goalkeeper would have been pushed into the net, that was the power of that shot from Haaland. It was just so good. Rico Lewis, Erling Haaland, good play from Erling Haaland, Riyad Mahrez, and it's another goal! It's another goal! It's another goal! Gundogan! Gundo! It's not Timo Haaland, JSK! It's Gundo Haaland! Gundo Haaland! Ikai! Ikai Gundogan! What a goal! Gundo Haaland! Gundo Haaland! Gundo hat trick! Yes, Gundo hat trick incoming when Gundo hat trick incoming! Gundo Haaland! But just look at the work. Is he offside? Is he offside? I don't know. Is he offside? It would be a shame if it's offside. I don't know if it's a shame. It will be a shame if it's offside because the finish was just fantastic. Again, this time the other corner. Gundogan's just superb. This time it's the other corner from Gundogan. Just tell me it's not offside. No, it's not offside, of course. But just the work of Haaland in that goal was just immense, and that's well defended. That's very well defended. But nothing like someone bloody Mahrez just come and help. Yes, we just needed to help Rico Lewis out over there. Need to help Rico Lewis out. But the thing about that goal was, the work done by Riyad Mahrez. Sorry, the work done by Erling Haaland over there. That was excellent to pass it to Riyad Mahrez. Just defend this corner well. The save from Edison is superb. The save from Edison there was superb. JSK, I'm sure that even you will acknowledge it. The save from Edison was superb. What the hell? Why are we giving the ball away in the middle of the park? That's very well done by Riyad Mahrez, but why are we giving the ball away from the middle of the park? But just look at that save from Edison from that corner. It was fantastic save. Haaland was almost through over there. Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez. Rico Lewis, calm the game down. Bring that Pausa into the game. Just calm the game down. Just put some sense and calm the game down. I reckon score 3 and score the third and bring on Calvin Phillips. It was a difficult chance anyway for Phil Foden there. It was a difficult chance. It was anyway offside, so that's fine. JSK is probably gaining the increase of gaining increase in the interest of Barcelona. JSK is at least my goalkeeper put some shot stopping sense on him. That is true, JSK. That is true. And I want you to remain like this, harsh on Edison and supporting Ortega because whenever you seem to do that, Edison just seems to be on the top of his shot stopping form. Just excellent. And that is true. The competition from Ortega is just, got Edison up another level. It's almost like when Cancelo came earlier and Kyle Walker just had to up his game, and the way Kyle Walker upped his game after Cancelo's game, it's the same thing. And how Nathan Ake upped his game in a way. So in a similar way, Ortega, and I think from next season, Ortega will actually start in the Champions League. He will start. The keeper of his stature does not deserve to be sitting on the bench. He need to start at least one major competition for City. Ederson in the Premier League and Ortega in the Champions League. And also, I think Ortega's profile. I know we've had an extensive debate on that in this channel, but goalkeepers are protected. But anyway, yeah, I think the profile of Ortega actually suits him for the Champions League. It actually suits him so much. One more goal before half time, and I think probably he can take away Gundogan. And not Gundogan, he can take away Kevin De Bruyne probably and just wrap him up in one. He can probably take away Haaland if he scores the third before half time. So let us see. And it's Noto versus Ake, so that will be a really interesting battle. Ake, he pocketed Saka. Ake pocketed both Sunny and Coleman. They had to even switch wings and Riyad Mahrez with the ball. Just go back to Edison, build up again. That's a great switch from Kevin De Bruyne. Phil Foden there, wonderful take. And Ake again, just pass. Now Kevin De Bruyne wants to have a shot. That Ilkay Gundogan has got so many goals from outside. Now De Bruyne wants to get it. Yes, yeah, the interest from Barcelona, which you're talking about, is interesting because the agent, it's all driven by the Spanish press, and the agent of Gundogan is said nothing concrete has been, agreed and things like that, and that's true. I mean, why would Gundogan want to, put up rumors in the middle of a stellar season for City, rumors of him leaving and all, right? He's also a captain of the team, right? He's in that leadership group which City has. So why would Gundogan do that? It's all driven by the Spanish media and everyone at the club knows that. But my take on Ilkay Gundogan is that we need to keep him for at least 2 years. Worst case scenario, an year, but I would like to keep him for 2 years, and then I think probably a Florian Wirtz, or not even a Florian Wirtz. I was just thinking about it today. I think we must try James McAtee because he's done wonderfully well. He's been Sheffield United's Player of the Season. They have been promoted. They've reached the FA Cup semi-final. He's been pivotal in all of that. He's had a wonder. Erling Haaland penalty. No, Haaland's not appealing, so it's not a penalty. How can Haaland miss that? I don't know. That was such an easy finish for Erling Haaland over there. He was onside as well. The finish. I think Haaland looked to. He just mistimed his finish. So I think when you're looking to replace Gundogan, you need to Look at players who can make those late runs into the box, who have that mischief in the game. So pass it to Ake. I think James McAtee has that mischief in this game. In his game, he is also quick. He has that pausa as well, which sometimes perhaps his Foden doesn't have. He has that pausa. He's very good in terms of, he's almost like David Silva as player. So not comparing him to David Silva, but he's in that mold. So that's so he at least deserves a chance. James McAtee, and it would be fantastic if we could give James McAtee a chance to study under Gundogan, develop under Gundogan, and then for 1 2 years probably McAtee could play full time in the team with Gundogan, then going away and retiring. So I think that should be the plan. Should be the plan with Gundogan and his successor. Should be the plan with Mahrez and his successor. Should be the plan in fact with KDB and his successor as well. So Nathan Ake, very well done with. I know he didn't know anything about the ball, but very well done. I think we need to score the third goal before the break. Haaland had a superb chance. Haaland should be scoring at least a goal. We should have been having at least two more goals. JSK's good thing is, unlike other players, goalkeepers prime hits after 30 generally. That is true. Even defenders also, I would actually say the same thing, JSK. Even the defenders, but defenders prime probably doesn't go more into the mid 30s like a goalkeepers can do, but defenders generally can play until 32 33, provided they're injury free, because all that experience of reading the situations and stuff. So we need one more goal. JSK's Declan Rice can be good Gundogan replacement. He would actually be uh, he would actually have been a good replacement for Rodri. I mean, replacement in the sense a good cover for Rodri more than Calvin Phillips, I think. Because for me, Declan Rice can actually do both the John Stones role and he can do the Rodri role as well. So, Kevin, that's a corner for City. So with Declan Rice, I think, especially when you got Calvin Phillips, I don't think you get Declan Rice because so many midfielders. And I'll tell you, there's James McAtee, there's Tommy Doyle, there's Oscar Bob who's coming through. At least we have three midfielders who are superb in the academy. So you just can't, I don't think we need to spend 100 million or 80 million, whatever it is, on Declan Rice. It's just not. The player is good, but it's just not what is needed for the team right now, I think. That's a foul for Leeds. JS says, and what about that other kid who was bought in January and as Silva replacement? Yes, JSK. There's Maxima Parone as well, right? I'm just forgetting him. And they say Maxima Parone can actually play like a Frankie De Jong. He's unpressable. He can drive forward. They say he's the next Frankie De Jong. His press resistant, they say. So literally you have Peroni, you have Oscar Bob from the academy, you have James McAtee, and you have Tommy Doyle who have proved. So with four midfielders who are already ready to break through, I think it would be I'll use the strong word. I think it would be an injustice for the academy if you went on and signed Declan Rice for 80 90 million, because already we were feeling a bit hard done by when we let Romeo Lavia go and we signed 40 million Calvin Phillips. I know why he signed Calvin Phillips and I'll just get on to that, but I think we cannot do that again. You cannot just sell James McAtee, whatever others, and bring in Declan Rice. No, I think left back and right winger should be our priority positions. Ah, Erling Haaland just cannot get to that. But with the chances Erling Haaland has had, this game should be over by half time. Sadly, it's not. Sadly, it's not. We need to get the third goal. The chance for Alvarez and the one-on-one chance for Haaland, and with the De Bruyne Haaland one should have easily been 5-0 at this point of time. Manuel Akanji, Edison. We'll actually talk about Calvin Phillips in the break, half time. Just wants City to score a goal right before half time. Aymeric Laporte is so good on the ball. Can there be a way we keep him? I don't know. On his day, Aymeric Laporte is so good. Again, the only thing is, I do not know if Diaz and Laporte can play together in this system. I just do not know. JSK says left back Josko Guardiola now since Bellingham is not coming. That's very well done. 1-2. It was almost a through ball for Julian Alvarez over there. Leeds are slowly growing into the game. It's a free kick for Leeds. Josko Guardiola, I mean, again, I don't know what Pep wants in his. I think Josko Guardiola would actually be perfect. Nathan Ake is there. People are telling. What people are telling is, will Josko Guardiola accept that bench role? I mean that rotation role with Nathan Ake, because in the form Nathan Ake is there right now. I don't think he can drop Nathan Ake. So that's the thing. But then that's the thing when you want to bring in Josko Guardiola is one of the most is one of the most wanted defenders in the world now. Had a very good World Cup, and would he accept a rotation role? I know Ake is 28, Guardiola is 21. Some people are telling, well, Guardiola will have time to bet in. I disagree, because the defender's prime starts at 26, 27, 28, and they get better into their 30s actually until they're 30 to 33. So, Riyad Mahrez with so much space, and Ricolo is on the ball. Nathan Ake, stupid pass, and he just gives it away. Nathan, no mistakes, Nathan. I don't know why we play the silly passes. I know we have got out of jail over there, but Kevin De Bruyne does extremely well to nutmeg players. I think the pass was behind Riyad Mahrez, had to go into Erling Haaland. But anyway, on the front foot, Nathan Ake, Kevin De Bruyne, and Nathan Ake. Great run from Phil Foden over there. It's a corner for City. Wanted to pass it to Erling Haaland, but it's a corner for City. Need to score one more goal. 2-0 is still in the game to score one more goal. Julian Alvarez still could have played in Phil Foden over there. Could have been easier as well for Phil Foden than for Riyad Mahrez. Corner by Riyad Mahrez. Sort of a shit corner, I would say. I would say the two best corner takers, interestingly, are Phil Foden and Julian Alvarez, with for all and Gundogan also. But for all of their dead ball skills, I just don't know why Mahrez and Kevin De Bruyne are so crap at taking corners. Leeds now just want to go in to half time. Ikai Gundogan, 2 minutes added on. Come on, let us one more attack, one more attack. Riyad Mahrez, Manuel Akanji, Kevin De Bruyne on the ball, Nathan Ake, Rico Lewis, one final attack. Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez. That's a free kick for City to end the half. It's a free kick for City to end the half. It's a yellow card for Noto. It's a free kick for City. I want us to score of this. That will just break everything of Leeds United. Just going a goal down at half time. So just before half time, Kevin De Bruyne on the dead ball duties. It has to be Kevin De Bruyne. It has to be an outswinger from Kevin De Bruyne. So it has to be an in-swinger from Kevin De Bruyne. Cannot be an outswinger. Just went over Phil Foden. We know he has a fantastic technique, fitting on the volley. Ah, was close, but I think that is that. We go into half time leading 2-0. Probably should have put the match to bed. Should have been 3, 4, 5. At least should have been 4. The Alvarez chance, the Haaland chance when he goes one on one, but he miskicks it. So should have at least been 4. And Haaland should have already had his goal. But an unfamiliar name, not an unfamiliar name. This season, a bit of an unfamiliar name. Ikai Gundogan with both the strikes. Good that he is getting back to goal scoring form. We know Gundogan is excellent at dead ball situations, free kicks, so scoring from range should not be surprising for Gundogan. But I just would have preferred one or two more goals, at least a 3-0 or a 4-0, and the match would have been completely out of Leeds' reach. But at least a 3-0 going to half time. And it's actually interesting that JSK was speaking about Declan Rice. I, I actually there was actually a good interview about Calvin Phillips today by Pep Guardiola. It was published in the Independent. You know what Pep Guardiola has said? Pep Guardiola said that I do not know what is the future of Calvin Phillips at the club. What we will do is we will after the end of the season, we'll sit down at each player. With each player, I will tell my feelings to the player. I'll be very sincere and I'll tell my feelings to the player, and I'll listen to what the players feel about how the season has gone, and then we make the decision. Then we make the decision whether what is with regards to what is good for the player. You know, does he want to leave the club? Does he prefer staying here and develop what it is? And that's actually superb. How many clubs do that? I don't know, but that is I think one thing it's very special with City. If a player wants to leave, Pep has a chat with him, and if he wants to go, we don't stop him. Doesn't matter the length of the contract. Ferran Torres was a clear example of that. So I think that's what Pep said on Calvin Phillips. And another thing Pep said is Phillips was out with an injury till November, and then since there's this intense title race with Arsenal. I just could not give him minutes because there's literally no, when you're in an intense title race and when you're playing so many competitions, there's literally no time between matches. It's almost every 2 3 days you have a match, right? So there's no time for preparation. There's no time for bedding in the instructions. So for Rodri, Pep said that Rodri, for example, I don't have to tell him much because he's been here. He here with us what 4 years. For John Stones, for example, 7 years. So they can just I just tell them little bit adjustments, one two things. That's all. They know the exact entire game plan. With Calvin Phillips, that's not the case since he's coming new and due to the intensity and the regularity of the games, it's tough to give him a chance. That's what Pep said. But with regards to Calvin Phillips, what I feel is that when Pep went for Jorginho all those years ago, and Sarri came to Chelsea and Jorginho went to Chelsea because of Sarri. There was one thing why Pep went for Jorginho there. Pep it is not about the physicality or the and all pressing of Jorginho, but it's about his ability to play those Pirlo-like passes. You know what they call Jorginho in Italy? They call Jorginho as the pass master in Italy. They say that he can close his eyes and play passes to find the forwards. Can play passes so fast. His vision is so fast in long passes. So Pep wanted that kind of a player there, and I actually think in Calvin Phillips. By the way, Calvin Phillips is called as Yorkshire Perlo. So, and if you just see his passing range under Marcelo Bielsa and all, my God, his passing range is actually very good. His vision is very good than people give credit for. So I think in Calvin Phillips, Pepe's got a Jorginho kind of a player who can make those passes, make those Perlo-esque passes. Not comparing him to Perlo here, but he can make those passes, and he also has the tenacity of a Fernandino, for example, in terms of the way he goes for the tackle. He has an engine of a Fernandino in which he can run. I know he's not showing it to us right now, but he has managed an entire midfield on his own, for example, against Liverpool and teams like that for Marcelo Bielsa. So you're getting a player with excellent vision, and also you're getting a player who has excellent defensive awareness as well, who has a great engine as well. So with Calvin Phillips, you're suddenly getting at least two players rolled into one. It might not seem like that now. Now it might seem just sell him, get Declan Rice, just sell him, get X player, Y player, just sell him, get Jude Bellingham. We said the same with Grealish, but that's not how it is. I think we need to give time for Calvin Phillips because he would just suit the system perfectly. Imagine Calvin Phillips playing the John Stones role. He would be comfortable because he's played centre back a few times in his career, and he's a midfielder by trade. And he can make those runs forward as well, though not as much as Gundogan. So I think in Calvin Phillips, you suddenly have a complete package and going forward and going back as well. With Declan Rice, I think with Declan Rice, you have almost a perfect Pep Guardiola kind of a player with Declan Rice. But the thing with Declan Rice is I'm still not sure whether he's that tenacious in the press, whether he has that a bit of aggressiveness to his game like a Fernandino has. We do not want a soft underbelly in the midfield. And Rodri is a different kind of a player. Rodri is a Busquets kind of a player. I can't compare Rodri to Declan Rice. For me, Declan Rice is almost in the mold of a Fernandino kind of a player. So then, does he have the tenacity? That does he have that little bit of mischief in his game? Declan Rice? I don't think so. I know this could be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think so. I would prefer Calvin Phillips over Declan Rice, at least right now. So let's give Calvin Phillips time. Bayaji says players getting into each other's way, and Haaland brought us for his game finishing today. Not good before Madrid game. We need to finish off this game, Bayaji. And if Haaland, Alvarez, if only they could finish off their coffee, we could have been at least two more goals up, and Haaland could have been substituted in the second half. But both of Gundo's finishes were not just excellent, they were smart. Especially the second goal, if you see, the goalkeeper and everyone were anticipating the near post, whereas Gundo went for far post. And in the first goal, it was entirely different. Goalkeeper was anticipating the other side, and he went other side. Gundogan. That is just superb from Gundo. But yeah, Bayaji. But the only positive probably Bayaji is if Haaland misses finishes, it probably be this game, not the Madrid game. That's the only thing. I mean, Haaland at the one thing I would like to see is Haaland at the Bernabeu scoring a goal and doing his yoga celebration, doing his calmness meditation celebration. In front of the in front of the Bernabeu crowd. That would just be fantastic, right? But then did you guys notice the combination play? De Bruyne, Haaland again. Just how they did against Madrid, and Haaland finish was hit so fiercely that I was stunned looking at it here. The net would have surely broken if that finish went in. We need to see this game out. We need to see this game out for sure. Need to see this game out. Do you guys bring people like Diaz and Stones in the second half? I don't know. I don't know at what point does Pep substitute Haaland? I don't know. A couple of interesting calls for Pep to take, I think, in this match. But we need to get the third goal as soon as possible. I do not want to see Calvin Phillips introduced. Although I praised him a bit, not now. I don't want him to be introduced now unless we get that third goal in. And the left centre back or the left back position is also very interesting because I mean all the eyes are on Josko Guardiola, they're on Endika, which we have spoken about, which when I mentioned initially a week back or so. Endika, Josko Guardiola, there has been talk of Bastoni from Inter Milan, but I actually think Callum Doyle has had an excellent season in the championship. Callum Doyle, a left-footed centre back, he's been so good in the championship. I think what a nice chance this could be to bet in Callum Doyle right now because you have imagining Laporte leaves, you have Akanji, you have Diaz, you have John Stones, you have Natanaki, four centre backs. Just imagine Callum Doyle coming into this centre back group. How much would he learn? That would just be fantastic. I think that's how you bet in academy players, right? I'm just thinking about this transfer window. If we do not bet in Callum Doyle, if we do not bet in James McAtee, if we do not bet in someone like Carlos Borges or even an Embuda right now, when are you gonna do it? You're not gonna get a much better opportunity than right now because right now it's not exactly transition, but right now it's almost moving towards a transition phase kind of a thing with Gundo in his 30s, with De Bruyne in his 30s, with Mahrez in his 30s. You with Laporte leaving, you suddenly have some spaces in the midfield. And if you do not bet in academy play, I think this transfer window, like I mean, many people and rival fans mostly, and many City fans as well, we would like to think that this transfer window could be the easiest one in the club's history. Just bring in James McAllister, just bring in Rafael Leao, just bring in Josko Guardiola, for example, just bring in one more left back, Dimarco or someone from Inter Milan, Theo Hernandez. It would be done. But I think this transfer window for me, we are at the crossroads of, you know, how much do you elevate the academy? How much of a chance, how much of trust do you have on the academy? That is what this transfer window is going to be about. This transfer window is going to be about the battle of two ideologies, the battle of the ideology of, buying players, McAllister's all, or placing trust on the youngsters from the academy. So it's going to be a battle of where do you want this club to go because the decisions which we take in this transfer window could have an impact in 3, 4, 5 years. Because if you choose to bet in Callum Doyle, Carlos Borges, Embuda, James McAtee, Cole Palmer is already there, Rico Lewis is already there. Suddenly, 3, 4 years down the line, you would be almost having an entire team, in an entire team, 7, even 8 players full of homegrown stars. That would just place us onto the next level above all the other football clubs. So that is that. So that is what for me will why this transfer window will be very very important. I know why he's bought in Calvin Phillips instead of Romeo Lavia just because of the reasons I mentioned, but we need to give these youngsters a chances. Oscar Bob as well. My God, there's so many players coming in from the academy. We I mean, there was talk of the vision from the owner of 2028, this decade being the decade from 2020 to 2030 being the decade of the academy, being the decade where we finally, bring our youth system to life and all of those things. I think this is the chance to actually realize those dreams. This is the chance to, go a step further in terms of youth development. When I think about the crossroads where we are at in terms of the transfer window, is it the youth or is it the buying players and then going that way? I think Chelsea were at these crossroads as well. I think a few years ago, not now, but I think even 6 7 years ago. They were there, 7 8 years ago, they were there, and they choose. And at that time, if you see, apart from the last 3 4 years, if you see Chelsea's youth, apart from from when Roman Abramovich took over, Chelsea's youth had that golden phase where they mostly won the FA Youth Cups, where they won the Youth Champions Leagues, they were winning the Youth Premier League consistently, and all of those things. But how many of those youth players had come into the Chelsea squad? I don't know. I don't know. I know Lampard is there, Terry is there, but I'm talking about from 2008, 2009, that phase. Not many Chelsea youngsters have come in. Chelsea have always preferred to buy players with heavy sums and things like that. So we are at the same crossroads there, and look at the phase what Chelsea are going through now. So every club will go through this transition phase where you'll be a bit down, you'll not be competing for things. When you are going through that phase, having a excellent academy, having a strong academy, having given youth players a chance before it will make sure that your club does not run into as much bad times as Chelsea is going through now. So Chelsea have just wasted youth talent like it never existed. But the truth is, Chelsea's youth coaches will tell you that their youth academy was a star academy of the last decade. It is no more now. It is no more now, but it was the star. And that is the route which I do not want City to go into. I want City to remain competitive. I'll not say bring in so many youth at a time, but bet in youth, show trust in the academy. That is just going to be so important going forward. Payaji says Borges is like Yaya with Sane's pace, must be given a chance once league is wrapped up. Hopefully, Payaji, hopefully we can give him a chance next season, but sorry, this season, but it's going to be tough with the league still so close. But Borges, Embuda, Oscar Bob, James McAtee, Tommy Doyle, Callum Doyle, so many players. I've already named 6 players on the top of my head. Liam Delap was such a prolific goal scorer. So at least 7 players in here now. So our youth academy is producing players. This has been what 14 years, 15 years since the youth project was actually started by Sheikh Mansour, the city group, and it is now we are yielding results. So it has been a long journey. It's not like you turn on a switch, rub a genie lamp, and youth players are being produced the next day. It has been a project where City have invested heavily. We have backed and provided the youth players with state of the art facilities, with the top coaches. Pep Guardiola implemented his systems over there. So we should not just let this go for nothing, I would say. The half has started and we must get the next goal. We must get the next goal for sure. And City to kick this off. Aymeric Laporte does well there. Aymeric Laporte does extremely well over there. So almost caught on the counter. The last thing you would want is to concede a counter goal to this Leeds side. Very well done by Manuel Akanji, and the ball just gone out. But Chip pass by Manuel Akanji was superb over there. 84% possession for City, and that is actually expected, especially with Big Sam Park in the bus. Why is McKennie playing football? He can actually be a throw ball player or a handball player because his throws are all so long. He could even be a basketball player. We need to score the second goal. Rico Lewis. Good cross across by Manuela Kenji. Natanake. Amaric Laporte. Manuela Kenji. That's a free kick for City. And that should be a yellow card, I think. Mark Roca. Never heard of him, but I mean, I won't say that I'm following. I'm not following. I mean, I won't say that I'm following Leeds, but especially during PL's time, you would see Leeds games because they would be exciting. Leeds, Liverpool, Leeds United, they would just be superbly entertaining games. But now that BL's has gone, non-Leeds fans, I don't think they watch Leeds as much. How did we not score there? Haaland off the bar, I think again. I think it was anyway offside. It was anyway offside. Open goal again. Haaland off the bar. Just can't, like Bayaji says, you just can't afford to miss all of those chances. Against Real Madrid, for example. Kevin De Bruyne with the ball right now. Aymeric Laporte. Nathan Ake. That's a foul. I think we need to score the third goal. That's a stupid ball. Ball into nowhere. Gundogan does well to get it off. Nathan Ake. Ake back to Edison. I don't know what they're doing there. That was so risky. Offside. Bamford had come back from an offside position over there. Mikhail Gundogan. Erling Haaland. Kevin De Bruyne. Plays it to Riyad Mahrez. Heavy touch from Riyad Mahrez and it's a goal kick. Don't know why we are not creating chances and taking our chances. Leeds are playing some football right now. That was a risky clearance from Ederson, but that's a free kick for City. Well done, Foden. That was a risky clearance from Ederson. I don't know what Ederson's thinking there. Have no idea what Ederson's thinking there. Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. Ah, pass that was that's a pass that was hit heavily. Nathan Ake does extremely well, and then Laporte reads it, and Gundogan gets the ball. Kevin De Bruyne on the ball. Phil Foden. Ah, chance for Erling Haaland there. Chance. Erling, you need to take these chances. That move was very well worked out by City, but good move there. I know the ball did not have pace on it, but Haaland should be. Haaland should have had a hat trick today, to be fair. Easy hat trick for Haaland today. Nathan Ake is down. Oh my god, is it the hamstring? Nathan Ake is down. Is it the hamstring? Right before the Real Madrid game. Is it the hamstring? Why is Ake substituted? What are they telling on TV? Can someone tell me here? Is it his hamstring? So now Rico Lewis is gonna play against Noto. That's gonna be very tough for the young man, I would say. I hope nothing serious with Ake and he can start the Real Madrid game because it's going to be so important against Rodrigo. It's a foul on Rico Lewis, and Rico Lewis does extremely well over there. Get in front of his attacker. Does extremely well. Jack Harrison. He's from City Academy as well, I think. JSK says Yaya Curse is getting back, and JSK, what is happening to Ederson? Every game, even against Fulham, there is a moment where he lost his mind. Here he lost his mind just a bit, coming out and heading the ball. What is it? Is Ederson telling Pep, let Ortega play goalkeeper and I will actually play centre back? Riyad Mahrez, Ilkay Gundogan, Kyle Walker, Rico Lewis, Erling Haaland, Ilkay Gundogan, Aymeric Laporte, Aymeric Laporte, Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker. Ah, stupid pass from Kyle Walker, and I think we might be shot at the back over there, but that's well defended back. And it's a throw in now. It'll be throwing into the box. Just Ake. I don't know, Jeski. I think it's. I just hope it's not serious. That's the only thing. I just hope it's not serious. And Leeds make some changes. But it's bloody Kyle Walker, I think, who's playing at left back now. It's McKennie with a long throw, but that's well defended. I mean, Ake was also important in this game because aerially he's so good, and now I don't think we have, apart from Laporte, someone who's good aerially defensively. It's a goal kick for City. I just hope it's good because we need Ake against Rodrigo. We need Ake and Kyle Walker as our fullbacks against Real Madrid. That's an absolute must. Nyoto goes off and Nyoto and Roca go off, and Greenwood and Rodrigo come on. I think it's Rodrigo Moreno who's coming on. Rico Lewis has been very good on the ball, but defensively, I'm not yet convinced by Rico Lewis. I mean, his circulation of the ball is just excellent under pressure. The way he does the ball, offside. Edison gets to the ball first, but I don't know why the striker there was not offside. Just don't know. But we need to attack. You just can't defend these things. You need to attack and try to score the third goal. I don't know we are not why we are not trying to score the third goal. I just don't know. Kyle Walker's playing on the right. Actually, I was wrong. Who's playing on the left? I don't know. That's very good defending. Excellent reading of the situation. Right on the R mark as well. See, that's the thing. The height. The height thing is could be a problem with Ake going off. I just think. Just hope Pep brings in Ruben Diaz there for the last half an hour or so. Because Leeds are definitely going to play long balls. Rico Lewis, Ivory Laporte, Erling Haaland, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker gets the ball back. Rico Lewis, Julian Alvarez, Phil Foden, Kyle Walker again. Manuel Akanji. Erling! Ah! He's not offside. How did Erling Haaland miss again? What the hell is happening? Ah! Erling had to score over there. Erling! We need to score the third goal, guys. We need to score the third goal. Bamford was offside there anyway. Kyle Walker, Ikai Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, back to Kyle Walker, Ikai Gundogan, Rico Lewis, Kevin De Bruyne. Ah! That's very well read by Manuel Akanji and also by Kyle Walker to back it up, but game has now gone end to end. Should suit Erling Haaland, but he's just missing chance after chance after chance. I don't know why today. He could have easily added three more goals. He could have and could have gone close to exceeding. Why is that when we start approaching Real Madrid, our strikers start to miss chances and stuff? Rico Lewis, Alvarez needed to take it on probably. It's offside. And it's another change. It's another change for Leeds. Harrison goes, and I think it's Summerville who comes on, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it's Summerville who comes on, and that exciting talent from the US, I think. That's a free kick for City. Is it not a penalty? Ref, can we have a look? Is it just a free kick? No, it's well outside the box. The foul was well outside the box. Riyad Mahrez with the free kick. I think they're gonna go here. If we score this, I think Pep should make few more substitutions. We need to score this. He has to go for goal. Ah, it was by Mahrez and I think it's a corner for City if I'm not wrong. Would have been easier for Kevin De Bruyne, I think, with the angle. Oh, no, that's a goal kick for Leeds. Not a good corner, but anyway. Leeds are so tall, and today we don't have Rodri, Stones, Diaz. You don't expect us to get much purchase from corners anyway. Pep is sitting there. How many chances has Haaland had today? Rico Lewis does well. That is just fantastic. His touch is just so good. Rico Lewis. Amaric Laporte. I think Laporte is playing at left back. I'm a bit confused. Then who's playing at centre back? I don't know. Great run from Walker. That's a free kick, City. That's a free kick to City. Give a yellow card, ref. Give a yellow card. Now I think De Bruyne will take it from this in this position. De Bruyne has to take it in this position. But the run from Walker was just fantastic. It's just excellent. I think De Bruyne takes it from this position. Ah, poor free kick. Ah, you expect much better from Kevin De Bruyne. They're a very poor free kick, I must say. That's offside, I guess. But what the hell was Kyle Walker doing there? Doing some nonsense. Amaric Laporte, heavy touch. Rico Lewis does extremely well over there to escape from the pressure. That is excellent from Rico Lewis. Riyad Mahrez. That's a foul on Kevin De Bruyne. That's a clear foul on Kevin De Bruyne over there. Give a yellow. Ref, give him a yellow. Yes. Just not booking him. How many fouls is that guy from the den doing? Clear foul on De Bruyne. He's nowhere near the ball. Rodrigo, who just come on. This is a tough angle than the last two free kicks. Well done by Mahrez. Well tried by Mahrez. We need to get the third goal somehow. That's what I think. Should have actually played it to De Bruyne and probably could have worked out another angle because this is too easy for the keeper on the near post. That's a goal kick to Leeds United. We must be careful here. We must be very careful here. That's a throw in for City. Nico Lewis slips over there. Leeds get a chance. We need to be very careful. Edison comes out. Well done. Very well done, Eddie. Very well done. Good starting position from Edison, like he always has. Very well done. Cannot give those chances to Leeds. Just cannot give it to them. What the hell are we doing there? Playing ping pong. Why do you want to bloody do that? Just pass the ball among yourselves, kill the game. I think he needs to bring on Bernardo Silva in the midfield right now. The midfield is just not able to control the tempo of the game. It's just Gundogan who's playing with some sense right now. Phil Foden. Kevin De Bruyne, Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker, Ikai Gundogan. Ah! Anyway, I think Haaland would have been offside over there. Need to kill this game off. We have not killed this game off yet. Rico, just go back to your position. Edison, why don't you just catch it? Bernardo Silva needs to be introduced into this midfield. It's lacking discipline, it's lacking sense, it's lacking the urge to control the tempo. It's just going an end to end game, and Pep will not like it for sure. Need to bring Bernardo Silva in. De Bruyne, Aymeric Laporte, Ilkay Gundogan, Kyle Walker, even De Bruyne, Kyle Walker again just played to De Bruyne, yes. I think you need Bernardo in this midfield, and I've been repeating it, but you need Bernardo, Phil Foden, Laporte, Gundogan, De Bruyne. I know they're trying to draw the Leeds players out. De Bruyne to Riyad Mahrez. Great touch from Riyad Mahrez as usual. It's a City throw in. Good ball in from Kevin De Bruyne over there. JSK says literally what is happening to Haaland. Does he not want to score against us? He could have had 4 goals. JSK literally 4 goals. My God, I'm actually getting tense now. We need to score the third goal somehow. I don't care how we score it. Dodgy penalty, whatever it is. We need to score the third goal now. Phil Foden, Aymeric Laporte, Kevin De Bruyne, Kyle. What the hell was Kyle Walker dreaming there about? And I don't know. Kevin De Bruyne, Walker De Bruyne, Gundogan. Just keep the ball. Each players are not getting a touch of the ball. That's a good switch. Aymeric Laporte, give it to Rico Lewis. No. To Foden, Gundogan. Not a good ball, but it goes out for a throw. Goes out for a throw. Headed out by Junior Firpo. If I'm not wrong, he's from Barcelona, right? Junior Firpo. Laporte, Rico Lewis. Back to Edison. What the hell were they doing there? Why do you want to take such risks right now? I don't know. Erling Haaland. It's a corner. It's a corner for City. Take the corner short. Don't take the corner long. All our corners have been shit. I don't think even Foden is a good corner taker. I think I know I've told it before, but I think it's only Gundogan and Alvarez who are very good corner takers. It's a substitution by Leeds. Oh, Aronson and Pascal striker coming and strike is very good in the air. We must remember it's a short corner. I think it's another corner for City. It's cleared out by Leeds player. Luke Eiling. Luke Eiling started. I think it's Pascal Struck who's come on. It's a goal kick for Leeds. Rico Lewis with the shot. Imagine if that would have gone in, Etihad would have just burst out. Burst out. Why doesn't Haaland want to score? I do not know. I mean, why is he missing so many chances? Edison, Eddie, just use your brains now. Kevin De Bruyne taking control, coming into the midfield. I don't know why Pep is not bringing in Ruben Diaz or someone. I know he's rested, but just to see out the game, 10 minutes. Good pass by Rico Lewis. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. Is this the goal? Will Haaland score this? Guys, will Haaland score this? First, will he take this or will Riyad Mahrez take it? I don't know. It's a clear penalty. It's a clear penalty, this. Absolutely no doubt about it. It's a clear penalty. Oh, Gundogan's taking it. Has to be. It's his hat trick thing, right? Gundo on a hat trick. Gundogan needs to score this to put the match to bed. Gundo, we must remember Gundogan took a penalty in the Champions League final against Bayern Munich for Dortmund. So it's not like Gundogan is not used to these big moments. Ikai Gundogan placing the ball. Can Gundogan score his hat trick? Gundo, please don't hit it down the goalkeeper's neck. What the hell? Penalty missed. And it's a Leeds thrown up. What the hell? Penalty missed. Ah, that was such a chance to, put the game to bed. And lead score now. Lead score. What the hell? Lead score now. What the hell? Lead score. This is what we were fearing. Mistake from Akanji and lead score. I'll come just now. I think Bernardo Silva's come on. That's what you were, worrying when Gundogan missed that penalty. That would have been game set match. That would have been bloody game set match. It's a city throw. It's a city throw. Pep Guardiola is not happy. I think he pointed out from the touchline that he wanted Erling Haaland to take the penalty, but Gundo took the penalty. That's well done by Erling Haaland. That's very well done by Erling Haaland over there. He's added on bloody plus 4 minutes. It's going to be 4 long minutes for us. I think that's a foul. And the ref has given a corner for City. Every Arsenal fan would be watching this, I know. Ah, that would have stayed in. Summerville would have been right through. Pep, the game's just gone out of hand. Can just sense it from Pep that the game's just gone out of hand. Pep's not happy at all. That's very well done. He's won the ball there. It's a counter attack. That's a free kick for City. It's a foul. Foul's well won. It's not just the foul that is important here, it's time that is important here. Time is of most consequence here with the foul. He's won. Can City see this out? It's so tense. And it's Rodri coming on now just to manage the situation. So it's a substitution for City. It's Gundogan who's going off, scored 2 goals, but he's missed the penalty. I'll not be clapping for him until I know what the result of the match is at the end. I think the referee will add on 1 more minute after this. So essentially, we have 2 more minutes to see this out. Erling Haaland couldn't keep the ball in with his touch. They need to keep the ball for the last 30 seconds. It's a Leeds throw again. 10 more seconds to go, but I bet the referee will add on a minute more. That's a Leeds throw in. Kick it long! That's well done by Erling Haaland there, the pressure. Four minutes are up, but I guess it's 30 seconds more to go. It's a corner, I guess now. Yes, it's a corner. Don't know how many minutes the ref is adding on. That's that. The ref has blown. The ref has blown. The ref has blown. The ref has blown. Guys, how much tensed were you after that goal went in? How much tensed were you when Erling Haaland was missing all those chances? What the hell? This game easily could have been 2-2, guys. Easily this game could have been 2-2. I mean, easily it could have been 1-1 if that second goal didn't go in. This game had full time. Vinay, what the hell was that, right? For me, this game had all of Nottingham Forest written over it. Erling Haaland missing so many chances, Gundo missing the penalty. If Gundo didn't score the second goal, I bet this would have been a 1-1 draw. It's just that Gundo's second goal went in that we 2-1. Vinay says, I tell you, Haaland Alvarez doesn't work. But yeah, this is horrible by both strikers, especially by Haaland, and how quickly a nice gesture turned into suicide. Exactly. And by a chat, I think you saw Pep there shouting. You saw Pep there shouting, Erling takes it, Erling takes it, Erling takes it. Pep was shouting on the touchline, Erling takes it. But I mean, nice gestures are fine when we are 3-0 up, when we are 4-0 up, whatever it is, even when we are 3-0 up. But Erling Haaland needed to take that penalty. And I mean, I can't blame Gundo because it's because of him we won this match. But his 2 goals, his controlling the midfield and everything. But literally, apart from both the Gundo's goals, I would say the ball just refused to go into the back of the net. Gundo hit the bar with the penalty, hit the post with the penalty, and what else? Erling Haaland hit the post with the penalty. Erling Haaland hit the post with his shot in the second half, and Erling Haaland missed a narrow chance. Alvarez skied one. So literally, I would say 6-0. This should have been the score line. Vinay says both Haaland and Alvarez wanna do 1-2. That is true, Vinay. That is true. I mean, I can understand if both Haaland and Alvarez doesn't work in terms of their passing, their movement is intercepting each other and stuff. But finishing. But what about finishing? Both are superstar strikers, right? If you have to rank the top five, top six best strikers in the world right now, of course Haaland is at the top, but Alvarez will be in the top five for sure. Easily he'll be in the top five. Alvarez will be in the top three strikers in the Premier League right now. So that is how good Alvarez is. Both of them did not have the striking boots on. Like Bayaji mentioned earlier, I think against Real Madrid, we cannot have this attitude. We cannot have this attitude. You should take your chances. You just cannot miss the chances. And you have a goalkeeper like Kurtwa over there and everyone over there. So you just cannot miss your chances like that. This was so scary, right? Why does he keep doing this to us? Fulham 2-1. Pep scared the shit out of us for 45 minutes. And now here 2-0. I was just thinking to myself, we need to score the third goal or else they will score, they will score, they will score. And things like that. So, I mean, glad that that goal went. I mean, I just can't express myself. This could have been a twist in the title race. It could have almost been like football coming full circle. Saka missed the penalty against West Ham and at 2-1, and they did 2-2. Gundo missed the penalty at 2-0, and they did 2-2. That could have easily been the story. That could have easily been the story, but all is there well that ends well. Vinay says, miss this, that. Big 3 points. Exactly, big 3 points. Above all, it's big 3 points. We have done the job. Well done to the guys. But I would say one thing. Okay, the goal went in, but how stable we were after that goal went in. That's the important thing, because 85th minute goal goes in, and it was an Akanji mistake. It was an Akanji mistake, right? Akanji just kicks the ball. It was a simple Akanji mistake. There's nothing sugarcoating that. It's not like Leeds carved out a beautiful chance. It's an Akanji mistake. But one thing I'll praise is the character which we showed after conceding that goal. After conceding that goal, we were stable. We kept the ball. We kept on doing those things. Didn't allow Leeds another sniff at the goal. I think one of the things which Arsenal and Arsenal fans should learn from watching the City team is how we close out games. It doesn't matter if you're leading 1-0 or if you're leading 4-0. The way we close out games is excellent. I would say there's this rarely a team in world football that closes out games like in the way we does, by keeping the ball, by taking it to corners, by running down the clock, so just taking out the tempo. So I think Pep was calm. Pep could have easily introduced Diaz, someone. I know he's bought and brought free, but in that moment, Pep was calm. We were calm, we were stable, and then we got the job done. I think that's the level which you need to have if you really want to go for the title. Bayaji says, how many bad penalty takers we have? Once Gundo was Germany's number one. Bayaji, Gundo has taken the highest pressure penalty probably in the Premier League. In all of the players in the Premier League right now, he's taken a penalty in the Champions League final for Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. What else could be a high pressure moment? So I can't blame Gundo. I mean, looking at the penalty takers in this team, I think Haaland is a very good penalty taker. I know he's missed today, but Gundo is a very good penalty taker. Julian Alvarez for me is a very good penalty taker. We have three. Riyad Mahrez, of course, is I know he misses one or two, but he's a good penalty taker. So I think we have at least four good penalty takers in the team. But I was shocked that Gundo missed that penalty. I mean, it just hit the bar, but had to be that sort of a day, right? Haaland hit the bar, Gundo hit the bar. And how many times in the season have you seen Haaland being so blunt in front of goal? For me, Nottingham Forest is the one that comes to mind. Against Fulham, he didn't have any chances. Against West Ham, he looked absolutely sharp. And and I think this was another day. This was another day where Haaland looked blunt. But anyway, like I said, it was a gamble. Pep took the gamble against Leicester half time, removing De Bruyne, Rodri, and everyone. And Leicester almost made it 3-3 from 3-0. We know how close that was. Against Fulham, Pep did a gamble by sort of, choosing to defend for 45 minutes rather than win the game. And this was another gamble before the Real Madrid game, rest most of your players. So I think when you're competing for three trophies, it's those gambles that you need to accept. I know if the result has been different, I would be speaking in a different way. But I think you take a gamble and the manner you lose is also what counts, or the manner you drop points. For example, if Leeds would have nicked a 1-0 today, or Leeds would have outplayed us 2-0 today, I would have taken it. It's a gamble. Pep took, fair enough. We didn't succeed. Go to Real Madrid game. That's a gamble. But if the result would have been a draw, for example, I would be disappointed because Pep took the gamble. The gamble worked out for 85 5 minutes. You had a penalty in the 83rd minute. It was game set match. Sam Allardyce brought on defenders to protect that goal difference. In the 82nd minute, the opposition coach has left the game. The opposition players have almost given up. Leeds were not pressing at all. City were having the ball. You get a penalty. You miss it. Lead score from your mistake. What else can be a big disaster? That was unacceptable. Even now, it's unacceptable. Even though we have the 3 points, that's unacceptable because the mentality of champions is like even though you win, I know it's a big 3 points, but I think we should have won more comfortably there. I was not happy with a couple of things. I was not happy with the kind of tempo there was in the midfield today. There were times, especially in that phase, 70th to 80th minute, sort of in that phase. I would even say 65th to 80th minute in that phase, it was sort of becoming, in that 15 minutes phase, it was becoming end to end almost. No one in the midfield was sort of giving the pausa. No one was telling, I will control the tempo of the game. Like when I mentioned, the strikers were happy playing 1-2. De Bruyne was playing through balls. Gundogan he wanted to be involved in the attack. Laporte was almost coming too much forward. So I think we became too much casual, and at that moment, I know a lot of you also must have felt. Let Leeds not score. Let Leeds not score because 2-1 it will become gingerly. 2-1 it will become tense. 2-1 anything can happen. 2-1 the momentum is with the home side. Momentum is with the away side. Bayaji says, how many bad penalty takers we have? Once Gundo was Germany's number one, we did that. Bayaji says, Akanji went to sleep against Arsenal too and Holding scored. That is true, Bayaji. Dortmund fans actually tell this about Akanji. They're surprised about how well Akanji is actually playing because they tell that Akanji has, Akanji, if you look back at 10 years ago, when Akanji was about 17, 18, at that time, Akanji was what Guardiola is now. Akanji was one of the superstar defenders coming through. Actually, Akanji was said to be the next big thing, just like Guardiola is being touted now. But what they told about Akanji was he had all the talent, passing range was immense. The way he struck the ball through everything, it was so good. But the only they're showing the Erling Haaland penalty. But the only thing about Akanji they say is lapse of concentration that he has. Now that is Haaland's mistake there. He's the penalty taker. He should not offer it to Gundogan. He should take it because Gundo didn't ask. At first I didn't see that. I thought Gundo asked, but Gundo didn't ask for it. Gundo didn't ask for it. I know it's a nice gesture by I know it's a nice gesture by Haaland, but it could have tilted the title race. That's how big that the consequence of that would have been. What Haaland had done there. Because Gundo, at first I thought Gundo maybe asked or had a word with Haaland, but Gundo didn't ask. Pep, Pep was telling to Erling Haaland over there clearly, Erling, you have to take it. Erling, you have to take it. Vinicius, not to forget, 7 to 8 changes and created overloads, created loads. That is to Rico Lewis was just fantastic. But just finishing off, I'll come to this point about the changes and stuff and how we were brilliant. But Akanji always had that lapse of concentration in him. And this season, a lot of Dortmund fans are surprised that he does not have that lack of concentration actually. They're just showing Pep's clip there. Erling, you have to take it. Erling, you have to take it. He's just shouting. He's just shouting there actually. But yeah, so I think Akanji has to iron out that one thing. Walker, I remember, had this when he came from Spurs. Walker, I remember, actually had this lapse in concentration, but he's ironed it out with his work with Pep and through the years. I think Akanji will learn about that. But what I would say is Akanji has been brilliant against Munich. In big games, he's been brilliant. Okay, against Arsenal, he's conceded goals, but he was brilliant. He's generally brilliant in big games. Look at that silly Akanji, silly there. They're showing the replay. Vinicius Akanji without Diaz is nervy, bound to make mistakes. We have seen it, right? Vinay, we have seen it. Akanji Ake partnership at the beginning of the season. Where did the when did our season change? People say when De Bruyne was benched, Walker was benched, and they came back. I would say when Diaz came back, he had a little bit of an injury and stuff. And when Diaz came back, we suddenly looked like that steely unit at the back. We had a leader at the back who was willing to put everything on the line for the team to win. He was just willing to do everything possible for the team to win. Those blocks and everything, it literally lifted the team. So Diaz is the thing over there. Diaz is the glue that really provides steel to our defense. Yeah, when I coming to your previous point, Akanji without Diaz is we did that. Not to forget 7 to 8 changes and created overloads. I actually was impressed by Rico Lewis. Actually, I mean, if someone asked me what position does Rico Lewis play, I'll tell them he's just a great footballer. He's just a footballer. This for me is another evolution in terms of how Pep Guardiola, plays football. Because Rico Lewis, you see him glide through that midfield. You see him put those through passes through to Haaland. You see him escape the press of Leeds. 2, 3 players surrounding him. He's just unpressable at such a young age. He's just Rico Lewis is just a beautiful footballer. I think you put him anywhere in the team and he'll just float like a bee. He can for me play anywhere except those centre back positions. He can I think play anywhere and everywhere. Rico Lewis is just fantastic. I mean, to be honest, we created overloads. Leeds were playing long balls. One thing I was worried with was the aerial prowess because we only had Ake. I can just speak aerially. We only had Ake and Laporte who were very good in the air. And I was worried about the aerial prowess. But, the intelligence of Rico Lewis was what caught me. Rico Lewis realized he could not win the headers from Leeds goalkeeper kicks and stuff. So what did he do? He started winning second balls. He started anticipating second balls. He started taking those positions. So that was just fantastic. The way he dealt with those situations. Rico Lewis, I mean, Gundo scored the goals, but for me, Rico Lewis is the man of the match for the way he just connected and ran that midfield today. I mean, with Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan over there, you would say Gundo ran the midfield, Kevin ran the midfield, whatever. For me, Rico Lewis ran the midfield today. Has to be the man of the match. Vinay says players forget this and move on to CL. It's a good refresh. And since we have got the 3 points, Vinay, what I would say is if it's good Haaland missed his chances today. It's good we missed the penalty today. It's good this happened, which does not have an impact on our season. Basically, it's actually good. It's good that this did not happen against Real Madrid because I always say that Champions League teams, especially at the deep end, your Bayern Munich, your Real Madrid, your not Juventus, no, but all your Barcelona's, all of those big teams, they are ruthless hunters. They get one chance in the score. We know what they did last time, so we have to be ruthless. I know we have a ruthless goal scorer, but Erling Haaland, it just didn't happen for him today. But that penalty thing, I just want him to remove it from his mind. And also, this could be a big thing next time when City get a penalty when we are like 1-0 or 2-0 up and the game is still on. I think Haaland needs to take it. I think Haaland needs to take it. I mean, everyone knew it. Pep knew it from the sideline. We fans watching it knew it here. The game was not over at 2-0 because 2-1 and the opposition is back. How many 2-0 leads has Arsenal dropped in the last week for this title race to tell? Liverpool 2-0 leading 2-2. West Ham 2-0 leading 2-2. Southampton, I know they didn't concede against Southampton, but 2-0 leads is just dangerous. When your rival has shown that 2-0 leads can be nothing, can be evaporated in seconds. So, Real Madrid, we were 2-0 up against Real Madrid, if I was not wrong. Last time we played them in the first leg, and Benzema made it 2-2, I think, and they made it 2-2 easily. So I actually think Erling Haaland next time he'll learn. He's just 22. We must not forget he's achieved this at 22, and he'll learn next time if the game is in the balance. Erling, you take the penalty because you are the designated penalty taker. That's the lesson which Erling Haaland will learn. Vinay says Big Sam tactics, but players were clueless. Even City players will be clueless if you put Big Sam in charge of City, because suddenly you can't expect. You can't expect players who under the last 2 3 years under the last, in the last 2 3 even 4 years, the culture at the club was playing out from the back, high pressing, do not fear. Even against Liverpool they played high pressing, fearless football, ball on the ground. I don't care if it's Barcelona, Real Madrid, City, or Liverpool. The players are with so much mentality, and suddenly Big Sam comes, and just for 4 games of the season, suddenly you can't undo what you've learned for the last 3 4 years in 4 games, right? See, Leeds were going with a philosophy forward. Marcelo Bielsa, Jesse March, even Rudy Garcia, everyone were trying to make them play out from the back and all of that. It's a philosophy that was created with hard work by Bielsa, and March tried to nurture it. They were trying to nurture it, and suddenly Leeds were going down, and Leeds management bring on Big Sam. I have a different take on this. My take is, if Leeds go down, I think, why don't you go down playing your way? Why do you want to go down, playing something which is not your way? If, for example, if Pep is put in charge of Leeds or something, he will go down playing, passing football and stuff. So I think that's one thing I'll never understand. If you go down with your beliefs, go down with what you have, rather than having some importing some foreign tactics for the last 3 to 4 games. I do not understand this. And also, just a little bit more about Leeds, because I find it fascinating. They have they have changed Big Sam, and I can smile about it because we have come out from this game with all the 3 points. But then let us look at the next three fixtures for Leeds, which they have: Newcastle, Tottenham, and West Ham. And Newcastle, Tottenham, and West Ham, these three are not tiki-taka playing teams. All the three have centre backs who are large. Newcastle, for example, have huge centre backs. West Ham have Ogona, Issa Diop, huge centre backs. Even Spurs are the same way, basically. So bringing Big Sam now with those tactics, it's not. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It's going to be interesting, that relegation race. It's going to be very interesting. But on to a match, I think it was another gamble, third gamble from Pep. It has worked. The biggest lesson, I think, again, is never take anything for granted. That's what Pep will tell. That's what Pep will tell the players. Because if you look at Pep, if you look at Rodolfo Borrell after that goal went in, they were expecting 2-2. They were expecting 2-2 at the very least. City would have come back or not, that's another thing. But they were expecting 2-2 at the very least. Pep with his experience, we got away with one here, but 3 points done, guys. 3 points. Yeah, exactly, Vinay. Exactly, Vinay. I know you're saying this, but I'm just, I'm just so angry with with us, because this happened at Nottingham Forest. This happened at bloody Everton. Just imagine, we got away with 3 points at Nottingham Forest and 2 more points at Everton. Two to four, 2 points more at Forest and 2 points more at Everton. And Everton under Frank Lampard, which is not able to win, win a running race even with one participant in it. We drop points, that too at home. So 4 points, add 4 points to this title race, and the title race is done. Title race is over. So I'm not unhappy, because Erling Haaland made the gesture, Gundo took the penalty. I'm not unhappy with that. Those things happen in football. I'm unhappy with the fact that we did not learn from Nottingham Forest and did not put the third goal in. My worry is not just the penalty, but my worry is also the other chances that we did not take. That's the only thing. But again, positives. De Bruyne is back. He looks to be very good. Ilkay Gundogan looks to be on the top of his form. And says, to be honest, I'm happy with PL. This treble thing, players are tired. They're very tired, right, Vinay? They're absolutely very tired. I know this gives us momentum. I know this gives us momentum, and it's good sometimes to play, especially at the end of the season, every 3 days. But this season, again, I say this season it will be special if you manage to do it. I mean, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but if you manage to win so many trophies, it's going to be special because it's a World Cup year as well. The schedule this season was jam packed. If there was one season which pundits could choose, or if there was one season which someone would bet and say that uh, doing a treble or something is impossible, it would be this season because the schedule is jam packed. World Cup in the middle. No one knew how players would come out at the end of it, and we have to remember City had the highest contingent of players sent to the World Cup as well. So this season, it's already very special what we are doing here. Players are so tired. World Cup, this that. Still, we are able to drill out results. I'm incredibly proud of this team. Fulham 2-1 defended for 45 minutes. West Ham tough first half came back. This game tough 5-10 minutes really defended well. So it's a proud of this team. Whatever might happen, just proud of this team. भैया जैसे विनय says Laporte, Rico, Ford and no CDM and 3 points is big. It's very big. It's very big, Vinay. It's very big. It's very big. Just take the 3 points and move on. Bhaiya, this is World Cup as well as worst draws possible in every cup competition. Exactly, Bhaiya. I think we have got PL teams in the FA Cup as well up until the semi-final, and in the Carabao Cup as well. We have defeated Chelsea, Liverpool, and I bet if Calvin Phillips did not play in the Southampton game, Carabao Cup quarter-final, I think we would have defeated Southampton for sure. After that game, I think it was what Pep realized. Cancelo and Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips is not ready and Cancelo is off. But that was a turbulent period, right? I mean, I'm just remembering where we came through in January, February, no chance. No one even gave us a chance. I mean, right in January, what was our stage at the January transfer window? Cancelo left. We did not have a formation. Cancelo left. The players, it almost seemed the Haaland's goals had dried up. It almost seemed as if Pep was clueless in what to do. Everyone said Cancelo gone, big schedule. How are you going to manage? Does Pep even have a plan? Everyone said that people had almost written City off. And then what happens? Amid all of that turmoil, we were not able to defeat Everton. You can remember what that Everton, which was under Frank Lampard at home, we were not able to defeat them. You can just imagine the state we were in. And after that week, the transfer window ended. What happens the next week, the next Monday? Slapped by charges, slapped by 100 charges. This could have been, I mean, no one, you let Cancelo go, a big shock to everyone, and then slapped by 100 charges. You don't have a formation figured out. Haaland's not combining well. You don't know what's Alvarez's role. You don't know how Kevin De Bruyne, best way to utilize him. Nothing. Your defense is not solid. I think Diaz was injured at that time. It was an absolute mess. No one has backed us for the title back then. And we have risen from such a mess. And look at where we are now. When rival fans think about this, they just think that, oh, City have got Haaland, City have got Alvarez, City have got De Bruyne. You just give me load of money when I will win the titles. The mess, to get out of that mess, you just don't need superstar players and you just don't need an absolute shitload of money. What you need is character and what you need is personality. And when City are going for the 3 titles, the one thing I feel really proud of is the way we showed character and personality from that mess what happened in February first week and January last week to where we are now. Just fantastic. Champions League semi-finals, won against Bayern Munich in the front foot in the title race, came from behind and gazumped Arsenal who were who are on the beach basically. Arsenal are playing one game, enjoying life, playing another game at the weekend. It's just fantastic what City have done. Vinay says Foden did nothing apart from pen. That is true. That is true, Vinay. But another thing is, I think at the end Foden actually helped us a bit. Defensively, he just helped down that left hand side superbly. I think he, especially after Ake went off, I think, especially in the last 9 minutes, Foden won fouls and all of those things. So I think defensive work he did well. Attacking work, I think we just tried to overplay it a bit today. I think the crosses and stuff were not on par and stuff like that. But again, Foden starting after a long while, so I'll just give that excuse to him. Look sharp, but I think it will take time. Foden's like a player who takes 2 3 games to come back to his absolute best, just like Aguero took, for example. And there are some players who go out and who come back, like Kevin De Bruyne, and it almost seems to you that they just didn't miss the heartbeat. Miss a heartbeat. Vinay says 40 million plus Phillips for Royce. Again, Vinay, for me, Calvin Phillips, I think we discussed this in the break as well, but for me, I think Pep has seen in Calvin Phillips what he has seen in Jorginho, basically. You remember all that while when Pep really wanted to go for Jorginho, and Pep just couldn't get Jorginho because he went to Chelsea side, he came there. Jorginho was called as a pass master. He could pass with closing his eyes. He could make those Pirlo-esque passes. And Calvin Phillips, for me, can make those Pirlo-esque passes. He's called the Yorkshire Pirlo, and he can handle an entire midfield on his own. Actually, he did for Leeds Bielsa under against Liverpool, for example, in that prime. So Calvin Phillips can handle an entire midfield on his own. His passing range is excellent. He has tenacity in that tackle. He can he can switch the role if you need him. John Stones and that centre back and midfield role he could cover for John Stones. So for me, Calvin Phillips has certain different. Calvin Phillips, like people think, is not a competition for Rodri. Calvin Phillips is someone who brings a different variety to Rodri. Rodri is a Busquets kind of a player. He can recycle play well. He can almost never press him. His diagonals are good. He keeps the ball ticking forward. You can almost sense he's another Busquets. But with Calvin Phillips, it's entirely different. For me, I would not compare him, but I would put him almost in players like Nigel De Jong, Fernandinho, those N'Golo Kante. I'm not comparing him to any of those, but he's that ilk of a player. Hard tackle, great engine, he can drive forward with that thrust, very physical. I mean, Calvin Phillips is different qualities, and I think in Declan Rice you get more of what you get in Rodri, but in Calvin Phillips you get something which is different from Rodri, and that passing as well. Those passes over the top of the defense when Pep does this, so that is something which you get with Calvin Phillips. Vinay says Ake injured again. I just hope Vinay that the injury is not too serious. It's just a precautionary thing because Ake and Kyle Walker are just a must. Ake and Kyle Walker are just a must for Real Madrid for me. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining this show. Thank you so much for all your comments. It's just been fantastic, and it was a nervy game, a tense game, and this is what it feels supporting City. That's why it's so special supporting City. When does City not make you feel special? You're always on the edge of your seat. You're always in anticipation of what will happen next. So that is why supporting City is special. It was just fantastic. This game was almost emotional today because 2-1 it was, and five. It was almost 15 minutes to go with the extra time. Not 15 minutes, 10 minutes to go with the extra time after the goal. So which Leeds scored. So a very good result, 3 points, and we go to Santiago Bernabeu for our Champions League semi-final now. See you all guys and take care.